Hello, my old school soul food family. Chef Jeffrey back with another video. All right, y'all, I'm going to touch on a subject I've been putting off. It's going to be kind of a touchy subject, but I want to give y'all my opinion. This video probably going to be about 30 minutes because I'm not going to rush through it because I'm going to touch a couple of topics. Number one, what I think what's wrong with the food industry and what I think that can fix it, if it can be fixed. And I'm going to tell y'all at the end, don't close this video out because at the end, I'm going to tell y'all my two favorite restaurants that I've eaten at in my whole entire life. My two favorite restaurants. If I had to pick two restaurants, because I can't pick just one of them, it's actually two restaurants here. Hold on, y'all. I ain't going to even edit this out. It's actually two that's pretty much close tied together that if I had to pick right now, okay, I'm going to this restaurant tonight or for dinner. Most time it'd be for dinner. It'll be these two. So I'm going to let y'all know. So anyway, I don't know how I'm going to title this, but let me get to something I've been putting off, the food industry. If y'all don't know, maybe you know, I've been a chef. I've been cooking. I haven't been a chef for 41 years, but I've been cooking in the restaurant industry for 41 years, since 1984. I started cooking, if you don't know my story, I started cooking at 16 years old. I was a dishwasher for it was the summer of 1984. I was a sophomore going into my junior year. I was washing dishes at this restaurant in the town I grew up in, and I got a job for the summer. And I washed dishes for about a month, maybe a month and a half, 2 months. And I was so good at my job of washing dishes, I would wash dishes so quickly because I was so inspired to what the cooks was doing over there. So I would wash my dishes, have my dishwashing station immaculate. I would always have it caught up or whatever. I took my job seriously as a dishwasher. And I would go over there and help the cooks cook for wasn't even part of my job. And cook for free because I loved and I wanted to learn, and I was really passionate about what they was doing. Even though it was a shrimp and steak restaurant, and I would my job actually was to peel and devein the shrimp, make French fries. We had the French fry cut on the wall. I would cut all the French fries. That was part of my job as a dishwasher. But with that being said, I learned how to fry shrimp, fry oysters, cook steaks to proper temperature, chicken fried steaks, all of that stuff. But long story short, like I'm saying, 41 years, and I've been a chef for probably 35 or 38 years, probably 36, 37 years of that I've been an actual chef in a fine dining club that I have been blessed to be able to eat, produce and eat and sample some of the most expensive, delicate food in the world, on the planet. I've tasted and eaten caviar, which is, whoo, I've had caviar, tin of caviar that costs $10,000 in my hand. Yeah, and I've tasted that and I'm not a big fan of caviar, y'all. That's one thing I don't understand. It just tastes like salty stuff I'm not a big fan of, but I have tasted caviar that's that expensive. But with that being said, I love going to different restaurants and review different restaurants and give you my opinion of it. Everybody's palate is different when it comes to food. That's just common sense. Some things I don't eat. Y'all know I don't like chocolate. I'm not a fan of turkey. I'm not a big fan of peanut butter. Certain things like that, my palate, I just don't like it. I don't like broccoli. I don't like cauliflower. I don't like Brussels sprouts. I love green beans. Y'all know I love corn. There's different things. Everybody's different with a palate thing. But when I go into a restaurant and order something, I look for certain things depending on what the restaurant is and what I'm going to look into. If I'm going into a hamburger joint in the hood, it's different from I'm going to a fine dining restaurant in Las Vegas. That's different perspective going into these facilities. But one thing I do look for is flavor content and execution to the food that they put on my plate. Now, I'm not a bougie person depending on where I go. I mean, I've seen some places that y'all know I'm the attention to detail when it comes to plating food and stuff like that, but I judge or critique differently depending on where I am. But like I said, I've been in cooking competitions. As you can see on my wall, I've had many medals and accolades and awards by cooking competitions because I know how to execute food, know how to plate it, know how to present it. And I've been trained that way throughout the years. But I think what's happened in the food industry, the businesses have forgotten to hire people according to their skill level. And they are starting to hire people according to their cheap as they can pay them. Let's put it like this. To be in layman terms, I don't want to go into an Asian restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, Japanese restaurant, and see people like me back there cooking. If I go to a Japanese restaurant, I want to see Japanese people back there cooking. That's their forte. If I go to a Chinese restaurant, dim sum or whatever, I want to see some Chinese people back there cooking. That's their forte. I'm not saying white people or black people, Hispanics can't do it, but that's not they forte. What's happening? I'm gonna make an example. And I called this 2 years ago. This is at Soul Food. They just recently went out of business. I think the one on Scott Street recently went out of business a few weeks ago. And I've been talking about this, but not on camera, but with friends and other people in the food industry. They have forgotten the strengths. I went there about 3 years ago, y'all. They had nothing. I'm gonna put it up. Nothing but Hispanics back there cooking soul food. The food, and you can look at the reviews, and when they went out been in the comment section, the food is tasteless. It's not cooked properly. It doesn't look pleasing to the eye, because the Hispanic community, they didn't grow up making soul food. You can train them or whatever. I want to see people like me back there in more soul food, cooking soul food. If I go to a Spanish restaurant, a Mexican restaurant, I want to see Spanish people back there cooking. I'm not saying I can't cook Spanish food, which I can, but I can't cook it to the level they can. That's why I told you, when I did a recent video on Frank's Grill. Frank's Grill back in the 80s, y'all, not 80s, in the 90s when I moved here, it was a lot of African American, black, however you want to say it, back there behind that grill cooking. The food was top level. I'm not saying that's the only thing but now it's changed. I don't know if it's the level of work ethic, the level of pay scale, or what, but the community has changed and it's affecting the food, the product that comes out. People, and number two, what's going on? They say, oh, they not trained. This is what is happening. I've dealt with it on my job. Nobody's being held accountable. They say, oh, the managers probably train them like that. Sometimes people are trained a certain way, but they don't do what they trained to do. They gonna shortcut it. I dealt with it as a manager and chefs and stuff. Look, I train them. They know the standards and the procedures in place, but they want to shortcut certain things. There's no attention to detail, being held accountable in these restaurants. I see it all the time. And what's happening, the food industry is getting more and more and more expensive. And it's not, a lot of these places, it's not worth what you're paying for. I don't understand it. And what's happening also, people that don't know, they looking at food and thinking that's normal. Oh, that's the way the food is supposed to be, because they haven't had it at the certain level that it's supposed to be, and as the level keep going down, 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 and more people eating stuff like that, that's becoming to be a normal, like, oh, this is normal, this is not how it's supposed to be. Bacon is not supposed to be burnt on the outside and burnt on one side and raw on the other. Hash brown not supposed to be burnt and crispy burnt and just thrown on the plate like nothing. I have to say, when I go to a restaurant, I specifically order soft scrambled eggs. I do that for a reason. Number one, I love soft scrambled eggs. And number two, I want to see if the person back there really know how to cook eggs. When I was growing up as a chef, if you can't cook an egg properly as a chef, you might well hang up your coat, hang up your spatula, your skillet, or whatever. If you cannot cook an egg over easy without any color on it, without busting the yolk, cooking eggs with no color, nice fluffy eggs, if you can't do that, that tells me right there you can't cook. People go, oh, that's simple execution as a chef. Simple execution as a cook. And that's, like I say, I go to a lot of places, I eat a lot of breakfast, a lot of places, and I look at some of the food come out, and there's no accountability, and there's no attention to detail on a lot of these restaurants. Another place, it's stopping my mind here. Y'all, hold on, I'm gonna look it up here. Just a place that's went downhill like crazy. Hold on, y'all. Let me look it up here. Y'all, sorry about that. I had to look something up. Okay, there's another place here in Houston. I don't understand why this place is popular, still popular. And they get so many bad reviews. It's a place I used to go to in the 90s. And I went it's probably been a year ago. It's Cleburne's Cafeteria. If y'all have been to Cleburne's Cafeteria on 59, it's by Channel 13. Actually, it's across the freeway pretty much from Lakewood Church. It's in that area, 59 and Kirby area, Bissonnet and Kirby area right there. It's been around for ages. Cleburne's Cafeteria, I think, started in the 50s or whatever. And when you go to Cleburne's Cafeteria, you can see all the cooks' pictures on the wall, which is mostly African-American cooks. Now they have only pretty much Hispanics back there cooking. Like I say, y'all, nothing against Hispanics. They're some of the best cooks and some of the best restaurants I ever ate in. It's restaurants cooked by Hispanics. But that's all cooking back there now. The food is absolutely horrible. Cleburne Cafeteria is known to serve comfort food, regular food like mom and pop make or whatever. You go there, we had a dining experience with me, my brother, my auntie, brother's wife, his kids, his in-laws. We went one, it had to be was it Easter? It was a holiday because we went out to church. It was like 12, 15 of us. My cousin had went before and told us about this place like a month before. Y'all, this is one of the worst eating experiences I've had. And I've been to Cleburne Cafeteria in the 90s when it was one of the best eating experiences it was. The broccoli is hard, it's tasteless. And my auntie was here, she'd tell you about it. And she'd been in Houston since the late 60s, early 70s. She's eaten that many, it's not the same. They done ruined the concept because they quit hiring the people that knew how to cook. There's no flavor in the food, there's no salt, no pepper, no seasoning, no nothing. It's absolutely disgusting. Like I said, I'll put it on there. Cleburne Cafeteria, you should be ashamed of yourself. But the problem is people are still going there because they don't know I guess they don't know the concept of good food. A lot of us ain't in there no more. I'm going to be honest. I've told this video, I'm going to be clear. A lot of us used to go there. People look like me used to go there, don't go there no more. Because the flavor concept and all that has changed. The people back there cooking has changed. Like I said, I don't know what the food industry, what's happened. If the businesses don't want to pay or the work ethic of the people don't want to work, I don't know what it is in that aspect. But it needs to change because it saddens me the level of what the food industry used to be to where it is now. You go to any restaurant, I understand if you work in McDonald's or Church's Chicken or whatever, and that's even, Church's Chicken ain't even the same no more. You don't have us back there frying chicken anymore. You don't have, it's frustrating, y'all. It's frustrating for me to do reviews and stuff like that, and I walk in there and I see certain people cooking it, and I try to put in my mind, I got to keep the open mind when I talk about this food, when I judge this food, or whatever. There's not always, okay, everybody cook. But look, like I say, when I go in a Mexican restaurant, a real authentic Mexican restaurant, I don't want to see no brothers and sisters back there cooking no Mexican food. I don't want to see that. That ain't my forte, y'all. I don't want to see no Asians back there cooking. When you go in an Indian restaurant, you want to see Asians back there cooking in an Indian restaurant? No. That don't mean we can't do it, but we can't do it to the level that they can. That's how they grew up eating. That's what they grew up cooking. That's what they knew the flavor. That's what their grandmother and mothers and stuff taught them how to cook. That's their forte. But I don't know. It's just so frustrating. I love the food industry so much because it's my life and it's going down here. A lot of people probably understand what I'm saying. A lot of people sound good. Oh, all people can't. No, nothing's 100% all. But the majority, that's what's happening to the food industry. The businesses are undercutting the clients by hiring people. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's just hiring people cheaply or they can't get the client, the right people to come in there and do the job. I don't know which one it is, but it needs to come to a happy medium and fix it because people are paying too much money for the quantity that they're getting. Like I say, when I go do food reviews, y'all know I'm very, very, very honest. Now, another thing about my food reviews, I need to get to while I'm thinking about food reviews. And people come to me like, when I go in the restaurant, y'all see this all the time. If you follow my chicken fried steak restaurants video, you'll see. I go in the restaurant, get my food. When I take the first bite of food, that first bite of food can be awesome or it could be okay. And I'll say on the video, that tastes pretty good. I'm like, I don't know. But I'll eat another bite. And I say, I don't know. I don't know the whole concept of what my meal gonna be. And y'all can say this for yourself when you're cooking, eating a restaurant, eating a meal. You don't really know until you really get into that meal and really get to eating it. Because it can get better or it can get worse. I've had many people, I say, when you first bit into it, you say it was good. That's my first bite. That's why I always say, if you look at all my videos, I'll say, I'm going to give you my review and my opinion when I get outside the restaurant, whether it's good or bad. Because what I eat in the first 2 or 3 bites is different from way the end result's going to be. Like I say, chicken fried steak. I've been to chicken, because y'all know I did 30 videos of chicken fried steak. I have bitten in the chicken fried steak, and it's so tender the first bite. But once I get into it, and y'all seen many videos in there, it's gotten tougher in the middle, the way the steak is configured, and I tell y'all that. So the first 2 or 3 bites of a video doesn't say the whole experience. People come out to me, and I think it was a French grill. Well, they said in the beginning, honey, and why you giving them bad reviews? Because those people probably never watched none of my food reviews. So like I say, the eating experience is different from the beginning to the end. So that's my opinion on the food industry, y'all. It's just like, another thing here. I just recently did a video on the best burger in KATY. When I did the best burger, I said the best hamburger in KATY. Not Houston, not Texas, not in KATY. People say, that's other burgers. I'm talking about KATY, Texas. Some people just did not listen. They don't read the title. In KATY. KATY area. That's not Houston. That's not Tomball. That's not Dallas. That's not Fort Worth. That's not Texas. I've had better burgers, yes, than Joy Love Burgers. Of course, I've had better burgers than Joy Love Burger. But in KATY, when I want to go to Burger in KATY, that's where I go. There's lots of burger places in Houston I'd rather go. If I really want a big burger, and if I don't feel like going to Joy Love, I will go that's better than that. So I'm just letting y'all know that while I'm thinking about it. Okay, I told y'all the best restaurant I ever ate. It's 2 of them. Now, before I name these restaurants, when I go in a restaurant and have an eating, I'm talking about, when I say the best restaurant I ever eaten at, this criteria I mean. An eating experience. When I go to a restaurant and I consider it the best ever, that I'll go back every week if I could afford it. I don't need no salt. I don't need no pepper. I don't need no ketchup. I don't need no hot sauce. I don't need none of that on the table. That's when you know the food is absolutely perfect. The palate, everything is perfect. When you don't have to put nothing on it. When you don't have to add nothing on it. That's why I preach on my channel, people cooking, they add a garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, lemon pepper, all this stuff on their food. And I see, and you cooking all this stuff and you don't even taste the flavor of the food. It's so much stuff on there. And I don't understand how people, that's not a good eating experience for me. Most eating experience that I've experienced is perfectly seasoned balance. You can taste the quality of the whatever you're eating, the protein, fish, meat, vegetable, whatever you're eating. It's not overly crazy seasoned with other stuff. You can taste it. I'll tell you, a lot of people don't understand this. Every food has its own unique flavor. You want to enhance that flavor. You don't want to cover it up with all these seasonings and spices and all that stuff. Like on my channel, you don't see that. You don't. Most time when I eat, it's salt and pepper. You gotta put a little cabbages on there and then my shake on there, depending on what it is. I don't put all this onion powder. My mama didn't do that. My mama used salt and black pepper. That was it. It just didn't cover up the food with all that stuff. I just don't, to me, I don't understand it. I don't get it. But anyway, the best two restaurants I ever eaten at, number one is Joe Robuchon's restaurant in the MGM Grand. This restaurant, they have two of them. You go to MGM Grand, they got two side by side. They got what we call a expedition kitchen where you can see the cooks in there cooking. And then they got a finer dining one next to it where you go in and sit down. Of course, both of them you sit down. I usually go to the expedition kitchen where you can see the chefs in there cooking. These two restaurants I'm about to tell you is not just where you just go in there and sit down and eat. This is a dining experience. This is a 1.5 to 2 hour dining experience. The expedition kitchen, they have what they call an 8-course. And the one next to it, they have a 16-course. Now, the one I go to all the time, the average check is $275 to $400 for one person. But it is worth every penny. Let me tell you why. The attention to detail in this place is absolutely amazing, which I love as a chef. I go in there with a chef mentality. What I'm looking for the taste and the execution of the meal. They have my favorite things to eat in there. Foie gras. I love foie gras. If you don't know what foie gras is, look it up. It's goose liver. Look up the procedure. They have foie gras. They have two. I ordered foie gras twice. They got like a foie gras foam, like a little soup. They come in a glass foie. Then they have which my favorite way to eat foie gras is seared foie gras. They have sea bass. That has to be one of my favorite fish, if it's not my favorite fish. If you've never had sea bass, taste sea bass. It absolutely melts in your mouth. This is a French restaurant. You know French love bread. The bread, they have 16 different kinds of bread that they can offer you. And they bring like 8 of them in a basket. And it is warm, it's fresh. And they serve it with a unique butter it's a salted butter with sea salt, and it's a special kind of butter. I cannot explain it. It's the best butter in the world, y'all. It is the absolutely best butter in the world. I wish I could buy it in the store, but you can't buy it. It's a butter with sea salt, and it's not Fluid-Sale. It's sea salt. And another thing that they try to explain it, they famous for this butter. And this is a 3-star Michelin star restaurant. Joe Robuchon, which he passed away about 3-4 years ago. Of course, his restaurant still goes on. I don't know if they have one in New York, but another thing about this restaurant, you walk in, you make reservations, they have your name. You walk in, they seat you. They have after every course, the maitre d' or the manager will come out, Mr. Williams, how did you enjoy your course? Your next course is such and such, such. We hope you enjoyed that. Anything we need to do for you, da-da-da. After every course, the maitre d', the manager will personally come to you and call you by name. Mr. Williams, how did you like this course and next course? Number 2, they have 6, 7 chefs in there cooking in the front of you. You can hear a pin drop. You can't hear no talking, no laughing, no joking. You might hear a little rattling of the pan, a little. You can't hear nothing. The professionalism of these chefs in there is absolutely flawless. You wouldn't even if you close your eyes and didn't know it, you wouldn't know people is actually in there cooking in front of you. It's that professional. The restaurant is spotless, clean, attention to detail. Like I say, it's a dining experience. You don't go in there. Oh, I said never recorded. Of course, I took pictures. If I can find the pictures, I'm gonna put them up here. I don't go in there with a recording. This is not that type of place. You go in there for dining experience. Now this is casual dress when you go in the expedition kitchen, and the next one over is formal. You gotta have a suit and tie, and of course a lady nice dress or whatever. And that's a 16-course meal. I think the average check over there is 750 to 800, but the one I go to, the average check is 275 to 400. Average I pay is 325 because I usually tip. I'm gonna tell you, I tip them $100 when I walk out of there. I never tip less than $100. I'm not bloating or bragging or whatever. I tip no less than $100 when I go to that restaurant. It's that good. It's that flawless. The food is absolutely, you don't need no salt, no pepper, no hot sauce, no ketchup, no, none of that. Because every bite is so flavorful and balanced. Yeah. So that's number one restaurant. And tied for number one is Perry's Steakhouse right here in Houston. The one I go to, I go usually once every 2 months. The one I go to is right here in Memorial City. Another dining experience. Another thing, maybe it's not as formal as Joe Robuchon, but the dining experience is just the same. Of course, it's white cloth napkins and all that, but the food in there, another thing, you don't need no ketchup, no hot sauce, no pepper sauce, none of it. You don't need none of that. What I order, y'all probably want to know what I ordered from Perry's Steakhouse. You know, crab cake. It's not a restaurant that I cannot turn down. They have the most immaculate crab cake. But when you sit down, they give you this 2 types of butter and this warm bread. And it's an orange butter, orange, I don't know, still don't know what it is, y'all. But if it's butter or what, you got a regular butter they give you, and then they give you another type of orange looking butter. Absolutely amazing with the warm bread. But I always get crab cake. That's my appetizer every time. The appetizer costs about $30. The average check in Paris is about $150, maybe $150, $200 for one person. I always get the crab cake, and then the entree, I'll get the sea bass if they have. I love sea bass, y'all. Absolutely amazing. Or I'll get the crispy. They have a crispy snapper where they sear where the skin is very crispy on it, and they come with some. You got an option of the sides of these immaculate. I think it's either Yukon gold mashed potatoes, y'all, with that. You know you're gonna buy already buttery. They got another. It's just absolutely amazing. Or I'll order the 16-ounce ribeye, which melts in your mouth. Medium rare, of course, and it's absolutely amazing. I usually order those things. For dessert, I'll either order creme brulee. Y'all know I love creme brulee. Anytime I go to a restaurant, they got creme brulee on, I'm gonna order it. Or I'll order the banana foster, which is flamed at your table in the dining room. No, banana foster is butter and brown sugar and flamed with rum and porter white. It's absolutely amazing. And they do it table side for you. But like I say, you go to Perry's Steakhouse, you'll be there an hour and a half. It's a dining experience. There's nobody pushing you. The waiter's not trying to hurry up with the check. Their attention to detail as well. Sir, is everything okay? What can you have next? And this and this. The menus are separate. You get a menu for of course you want to do your wine list or whatever. Then you got your menu they'll give you for your entree or whatever. And then you got a separate menu for the dessert. You know how fancy and attention to detail it is when your dessert menu is different, come differently from your, that's when you know you're in a fine dining restaurant. When your dessert menu is totally different from your entree and the regular menu. But Perry Steakhouse, like I said, I go once every. I'm probably go next. I actually am going next week because I want me a steak and I want me some crab cakes, and I don't know. I might get the banana foster, but I'm thinking about it. I can't wait to go. But yeah, I love and Perry Steakhouse. So they're my top 2 restaurants. If I had to choose any time, and somebody had me, so let's go out to eat, where you want to go? If I'm in Vegas, I'm going to Joe Robuchon. Cool, I don't go all the time because, like I say, you're going to pay when you go there, but it's worth every penny. And people say, oh, are you playing on restaurant? It's different what you like. I know what I like as a chef. I know what I'm looking for as a chef. I know my eating experience and what makes me happy. Some people might want to go to their best dining experience is Chick-fil-A. That might be what they want. That ain't me. Like I say, when I go to a restaurant, I'm not looking where I got to put stuff on stuff. Oh, I got to put hot sauce. I got to put pepper. I got to put... No. My food should be prepared like I want it when it comes to my table. That's what I'm paying for. I'm not trying to pay to fix stuff up. Nothing against it. No, I go to a restaurant, you see, and put stuff on there, whatever. But it depends on where you go. But if I'm paying good money, hard money, and paying for an experience, I shouldn't be having to fix my food up even more to make it satisfy my palate. It should come out already to my palate. But yeah. So anyway, I know this video went long, but like I said, I just want to, it just breaks my heart because I'm not out in the food industry no more. I'm not into the food industry. And we getting young people coming into the food industry. And if the older people don't train and hold young people accountable and hold them to a certain standards, our food industry gonna go down because it's gonna become a norm. The stuff that we get, the way food is plated, the way food is cooked, it's becoming a norm and people don't know what's better. That's what's so bad about it. Like I say, if you keep doing things wrong so many times and people start dying out and young people go, oh, that's normal, that's how to play. People just throw food on your plate and, okay, this is it, whatever. And nobody complains and nobody says anything and nobody, man. Me, I don't send food back in the restaurant, number one. I don't get on Yelp and do bad reviews or whatever, but I do have a social media where I don't just dog people out unless it's bad. But I will give my opinion. Every restaurant have good and bad quality. I mean, let me put it like this. Every restaurant I go to is not 100% bad. They have good quality. If it's a server, it could be if you see my reviews, especially my chicken fried steak reviews, I don't just dog a restaurant. Oh, this is the most disgusting thing. Don't go here. That ain't me. I've been back there in the kitchen. I know what people going through. Some people have bad days or whatever. That's part of it. I've had it as a chef. Sometimes you just think it ain't in you that day, or you busy or something you shortcutting to get ordered. It happens. But what I'm seeing at certain restaurants, it's just like they don't care. They're going to hire the cheapest they can have and just put a food out, and they don't care. And it's very, very sad what we're going to. So anyway, I love y'all. I hope that video was kind of informative or whatever. And like I say, I'm on next year, 2026, I'm going to be doing the best hamburgers across the state of Texas. Because I did a few already, but hamburgers going to be on my list. And chicken fried steak, I still need to get the best chicken fried steak in Texas. I already know what it is, but I'm going to go back there, and that way I can close out that segment. I got to make sure that's the number one, because this place got a 9.5. I already looked it up. If you don't know which one it is, go back and look at my chicken fried steak. I have 30 of them. And this place was absolutely amazing. I ate every bit of the steak, and it was absolutely amazing. And I'm going back and see if that place still holding up to the standards. So anyway, I love y'all. If you like this video, please share, please comment, please subscribe. Please follow my social media account, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TwitchTV, Pinterest, TikTok, and oldschoolsoulfood.com. Remember the hashtag 2025? It's great to be alive. It's even better to be living. Old School Soul Food. Till next time, have a blessed Old School Soul Food day, and I will definitely see y'all in the next video. Love y'all. Bye.